Hello team, how are you? This is welcome back to the Cambridge International School, a session wherein we discuss the concepts. Okay, so since last session we had discussed some concept and now we are going to move with the concept of going around in a circle. As we all know, we are doing a chapter force and motion. We have completed the chapter almost, and this is the concept of the chapter. So this is very important concept of going around in a circle. Have you ever thought why you whenever you are playing something or you're in a cart, why you move in a circle? If you see this person here, you see he is holding a thread, and this thread there he has tied a apple on the thread, and when he's applying force, the object moves in a circle. Have you ever thought about it? Why does it happen? हम बात करेंगे इसके बारे में आज. So see team, what happens is whenever there is an object, okay, there's an object, if you tie a knot, okay, and if you apply some force, it will try to move in this side. It will keep moving. When you apply a force, okay, it moves here. Once the force is applied from here, it will try to move here. But if there is a person standing here and he will try to pull this object towards himself, so what will happen? The force is applied here is this direction, but there is some other force which is pulling this particular ball in this direction, which is leading this ball not to go here, not to come here, but follow this path. Okay, so this path, it follows this path. For example, let's say this is the curve my ball is following. So if I want to say what is the velocity, if you remember always, whenever a vehicle moves in a curve area or a curved surface, its velocity is always perpendicular to this curve. Velocity is this. Okay, but why it is moving in this direction? Because there is some force which is pulling it here. Okay, so in this case, suppose this is the apple, it is moving in this circular force. The force applied to apple is leading this apple to move in this direction, but we have tied a thread which is pulling it in this direction. Because of that, it is not at all going in that direction or this direction. It is following the circular path. Okay, and this force, and this is the thing here, thread provides a force called tension to the thread. Okay, there's a tension here. Because this tension, the ball is pulled here, and we have applied a force which is giving the velocity to the ball which is in this direction. The resultant velocity or the resultant movement of the ball will be in a circular path. This is why your things move in a circular path. So always remember that if let's take this example, this boy is whirling this apple around the end of the string. The apple is tied and around the end of the string. Now what happens? The tension in the string is pulling the object, is pulling the apple and keeping it move in a circular manner. Okay, so now for an object to follow a circular path, what all thing we need? First very important thing we need is the ball angle, the apples, let's say we are considering here apple, the apple's angle of moment or the velocity of the apple should be always perpendicular or right angle to the motion of the apple. So that means if you draw, this is a circle, my object is moving in this direction, so that means its velocity should be in this direction. Okay, and there should be some or the other force which is trying to pull this object in this direction. This is the reason it will follow which path? A circular path. This is the reason your object moves in a circular motion. Okay, you must have played this. Na 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 na. Okay, now let's go to the next point. The next topic which we are going to discuss is, yes, this is one of my favorite topic: mass, force and acceleration. Force, mass and acceleration. So you must have seen this force, mass, acceleration topic. If you remember this, we had discussed whenever you accelerate a car, it moves with the speed. Once you stop accelerating or if you apply a brake, what happens? It stops. Now let me just ask you a question. If I have a big vehicle, let's say a big vehicle, I have a truck. Tada, 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 tada. Okay, this is a big truck, and let's say I have a small bike. Tiding, 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 tiding. Okay, I'm bad in diagrams. Okay, let's say this is my bike. Yeah, I'm good. So now let's say if we apply same amount of force on both objects, the bike as well as on truck, which is going to move fast? Yes, obviously the answer is a bike, not the truck. Why? Because the mass of truck is more as compared to the mass of bike, and whatever force you apply on the mass, whatever force you apply on a mass, depending on mass, it will move, it will accelerate, it will accelerate. So acceleration totally depends on what? Mass as well as force applied on that particular mass. If I double the force, my acceleration will be double. If I reduce the force, if I halve the force, my acceleration will become half. So this thing tells me that force depends on mass, force depends on mass, right? Force depends on mass and acceleration. Then if I tell you what is acceleration, so acceleration can be written as force upon mass. That means if my force is more, my acceleration will also increase. But what happens as mass decreases, acceleration also increases. So if I have a less mass, my acceleration will be more. If I keep force as constant, let's say I'm giving a constant force, but if I reduce the mass, my acceleration will increase, the speed of the object will increase. Okay, if I increase the mass by keeping the same force, what will happen? My acceleration will decrease, fine. This is the Severs property. So this is the reason the big massive objects, it cannot move with the high speed. But okay, to move that massive object you need a very good force, a very strong force, right? Big force, I would say. And to move a small object you don't need a much force. For example, again I can give you one more example. If you have a small stone, if you have a big stone, which stone will need more force to if you want to throw it at a certain distance? Simply, if you have a heavy mass stone, you will need more force to push it. If you have a small mass stone, yeah, you can easily throw it and it'll reach that. Fine. So totally depends on mass. So simply we have a formula for force which can be given as force is equals to mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Fine. Okay, now let's move ahead and talk about the next topic. Yes, how can we calculate the force? Now since we just now we saw what is the relation between force, mass and acceleration, now let us see how can we calculate it and what are the units of it. So simply we know the equation, force is equals to mass into acceleration, right? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Simply if I want to write it, what is the symbol for force? It is F. Symbol for mass, it's small m. Symbol for acceleration, small a. So force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, do we know the unit for force? Yes, unit of force is Newton. We write it as capital N. Unit for mass is kilograms. And unit for acceleration is meter per second square. We had discussed acceleration, right? So what is the unit for force? It is Newton. Unit for mass, it is kilogram. Unit for acceleration is meter per second square. Simply. So how do we calculate? So let me give you an option. Okay, there is an object, we have an object which has mass, let's say 10 kg. It has a mass, let's say 10 kg, and it is moving with the acceleration, let's say 20 meter per second square. Now I want to find how much, what is the amount of force has been applied to this object to give acceleration 20 meter per second square. So now we have a formula which is force is equal to mass into acceleration. I would input the formula 10 kg into 20, 10 twos are, okay, 10 twos are 20, 2 zeros 100. So the force applied here is 200 newtons. So this says that if I have an object of mass 10 kg Okay, and if I applied a force of 200 Newton to that object will move with the acceleration 20 meter per second square. I hope this is very much clear. Okay, thank you so much team. I hope the concept is very much clear, and I'll see you soon in the next session. Have a good day. Enjoy.